All right, welcome back. Max Tornow here, and in this video I want to be talking about how to transition from a 9-to-5 job to a freedom business. Okay, so if you're sick and tired of your 9-to-5 job, you don't want to work in an office, you don't want to commute, you want to build your own business, but you don't know how, or you don't know where to start, maybe you feel a little lost, then this video is for you. I'll be laying it all out for you. I'll be telling you what model fits the best, how to get started, and on a side note, don't worry, you do not need a lot of prior business experience. In fact, you don't need any of that. All right, so all you need is a little bit of willingness to execute and a little bit of self-confidence that you can in fact also do that. So that being said, if that is you, let's get started.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money, and just enjoying life? No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you, so here's to your freedom.
All right, so first and foremost, what you kind of need in terms of mindset to get started is, I would say, two things. And I'm saying this out of experience that, what made me get started to transition away from 9-to-5 job, as well as what my clients, those that are making it happen the fastest, adhere to. And that is number one, you have to despise mediocrity, okay? You have to really want it. Because in all honesty, some people are happy in a 9-to-5 job. Like, I've met people that, they work at 7-Eleven, and that's fine, and they're happy with that. They're like, yeah, it's cool, I get my couple $100 a month, and I can smoke weed, and that is it. And if that is you, hell yeah, I tip my fedora, that's really amazing. But for all the others who want to build a business, you have to really despise mediocrity. You have to say, this sucks, this is not for me, I can't do that. Like, if I think back to, how I started, I hated jobs. I hated every single job. Even if the clients were cool or the coworkers were cool and what we did was not so bad, I still hated having to get up at a certain time. I still hated not being free, and I still hated not being my own boss. So you have to really despise those things. And the second part is you have to be willing to invest some time and energy into making it happen, right? You have to be willing to take action. What I'm doing with our clients is certainly not a magic pill, okay? It's not like a guaranteed passive income online scheme. You still have to put in the work, right? Obviously, you're still going to be much faster than someone who tries to figure it out by themselves, and it's very, very likely that you'll get great results, but you still have to put in the work, right? You have to be willing to make that happen. Now, that being said, which brings us to the next point, you do not have to quit your job to make that happen. Okay, you do not have to put all the eggs in one basket and quit your job and then just kind of like hope that it works out while you have no income. No. In fact, I would go as far as to say, don't burn the boats. Okay, some people, you might have heard us talk about that. Burn the boats. Yeah, maybe burn the boats in your mind, but not in reality, okay? There are certain business models that you can start literally 1 to 2 hours a day next to your regular job, and then as the business outgrows the income from the job, you can transition away from the job, quit, and just, full on focus on the business. So absolutely not necessary to burn the boats, okay? If you pick the right model, you can easily build that up while you're still working in your regular 9-to-5 job. So that being said, what is the best model to get started? Is it drop shipping? Is it crypto? I'm really bashing drop shipping a lot lately. Whatever it is, there's so many trendy things out there. There's so many hypes going on. You should pick a business model that is easy to start, where you don't need a lot of capital, that is location independent. You should pick something that is time independent, and that is something that allows you to have very, very high profit margin, and it is something that you don't need a lot of experience for. And that is, the winner is always, if you look at it objectively, online coaching and online service providing. Why? And hear me out. If you say like, well, I'm not an expert in that, you'll be surprised how much expertise is actually within you. Why is that so important? Well, number one, you can get very, very high profits. Why? Because you don't have a physical product, right? So you won't have a lot of expenses. You're not going to sit on a lot of expenses. In the beginning, especially, you're only investing a little bit of your time. If you're properly positioned, meaning you're positioned for premium clients, you can literally ask for high prices. You're going to very easily are going to be able to make 4 to 5 figures a month if you do it right with online coaching. You don't need a degree, you don't need a certificate. Online coaching in the international market is not regulated. That means it's very easy for you to get started. And it's obviously location dependent. You can do it from anywhere like in the world. All you need is, a laptop, maybe even not even a laptop, just a phone and a Wi-Fi connection. And that also means you're time independent, meaning you can work whenever you want, right? You don't have to get up early in the morning, and you don't have to commute, you don't have to get an office, etc., which again lowers costs tremendously. And why is that so important? Well, because you can literally nowadays deliver your expertise online. You have WhatsApp, instant messaging, video calls like Skype, Zoom, etc. Even for professions that were initially thought to be only able to be taught in person, such as fitness, for example, right? I have to stand there as the guy is doing his exercises. Not at all anymore. There's tons of online coaches that are making, 4, 5, 6, 7 figures a year or six figures a month with doing everything online. So you can deliver your expertise online, which again allows you to be location dependent and time independent. And most importantly, you can also find your clients online, right? Like, let's say you're a relationship counselor, right? You're a consultant for relationships. Back in the days, you only had, potential pool of clients in the city that you live in. So if you live in New York, you only have the people that live in New York. Nowadays, you can coach anybody from around the world, right? If I think about our clients, we have clients from North America, South America, Europe, like places like Scandinavia, Italy, Portugal. We have people from Asia, Australia, right? It doesn't matter. We can reach these people. They can become our clients, right? Which is good for me and this is good for them. So online coaching is a very, very good part of that. So what do you need to get started for that? Well, number one, I can tell you what you don't need. You don't need capital to get started, right? Again, you don't need to invest in a physical product. You just need to invest about an hour or 2 each day. Like again, I'm talking out of experience. Most of our clients that get their first 4 to 5 figures a month, they've done that as they're working on their regular job. Because again, like if you do it right, if you do it in a focused manner, 1 to 2 hours a day, maybe after your work or maybe during your work, I'm not sure how much of your attention is needed at your current job. That's usually enough, right? So you don't need capital. Like I said, you don't need a degree, you don't need a certificate. You don't also, this is big, you don't need social media. You don't need a big brand. This is something that we've been taught kind of like nowadays with social media, like, oh, but I need to build a big brand first for years. In fact, most of my clients that are making money, they don't even have a website. All right, it's all about reaching out to people manually. All right, I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. And converting those potential sales into actual sales manually. It can all be done. It's very, very simple. You don't need a big brand. You don't need a YouTube channel or a podcast, or you don't need to be famous at all. None of these things is necessary. All right, all you need basically is a proven structure that you can follow. Right? Why do I say? Well, you don't really need a proven structure, but it's nice to have, because if you're trying to figure this thing out yourself, it's like you're on a boat. And you're just sailing out into the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean, hoping that you'll find the magic island with all the pretty girls and the good food on it, So you should ideally have, a proper proven structure, a compass, somebody, maybe even a captain who tells you to go into this direction. All right. What do I mean by proven structure? Ideally, a structure that has been proven to work by someone who's done it. All right. If there's been 10 people that have done it, then in a similar situation as yours, or 100 people, even better, then it's very likely that you can do it too, which is good for you because you'll be bought into that. You don't have to constantly question, like, does this work? Am I on the right path? No or not, yes or no? Because you've seen people literally doing it before you, and they're no better than you. So a proven structure will help you. And then obviously, again, 1 to 2 hours a day. Or you can even do it like, combined on the weekend. You say, okay, 3-4 hours on the weekend. That's usually enough. Now, let's talk about the how. But before we're going to get into the how, big shout out here to our podcast. Okay, if you like to go a little deeper on that and just look at the processes in greater detail, our podcast is a really great way to do that. We're going to show the URL somewhere here right now. We're also going to put it down in the description below. The podcast is usually led by myself and Nikita Gunkowicz, which is our sales expert, right? Our head sales coach. Definitely go subscribe to that podcast, listen to our episodes, if you're commuting, if you're at the gym, maybe if you're at your job. That's a great way to get that knowledge, just like kind of like as you're doing things. Highly recommend that. Now let's get to the how. Number one, how to get started if you're literally from zero. And that is, the first thing is analyze your strengths. Again, you do not need to be a 10 out of 10 expert in things. You need to be 2 to 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of the average person. All right. So for example, I'm a relatively fit guy. I'm not a super shredded, super pumped up bodybuilder, but I'm definitely fitter than the average person. So I could, for example, definitely teach people how to get in shape, because I know, I have rudimentary knowledge about, nutrition, about, protein intake and macros, and I know how to do exercises properly. If I didn't do the business stuff, which is my expertise, because I've been doing this for years, I've built several million-dollar businesses myself, I would probably be able to do the fitness thing. So analyze your strengths. And again here, don't be too cynical. Give yourself a chance. You'll be surprised how many challenges you've overcome in your life, more or less because you were forced to do so, that other people are now in themselves that will be willing to pay for that. Right? For example, again, maybe you've lost a lot of weight. Maybe you've gained a lot of weight. Maybe you've gained a lot of muscle, right? Gained a lot of weight in the positive sense. Maybe you've overcome divorce. Maybe you've overcome your parents being divorced. Maybe you've overcome a psychological disease, a physical disease, physical hardship. You've dealt with trauma. Maybe you've become very spiritual. Maybe you're a very good parent. You didn't ruin your children. Maybe you have a very good relationship. Maybe you found your dream partner. Maybe you've developed a really good fashion style. There's so many things that you've done that you right now might take for granted, and you're like, well, it was easy for me, but other people would love to pay money for that in order to have your take on these things, right? And by the way, nothing keeps you from honing your skill as you're already getting your clients and making money, right? So even if you say, well, you're pretty good at that, but you'd like to get better, well, hell yeah, get your first test clients, teach them for a lower amount of money if you want, and just get better as you're getting paid, as you're transitioning more and more away from your job and hone your skills, right? That honing of the skills never stops. Even after creating several million-dollar businesses, I'm still honing my skills, I'm still getting better. I have mentors myself, right? So analyze your strengths, and then the next step, very simple, is who can you help with that? Ask yourself, who is my quote-unquote target audience? Who can I help with that, right? Who are the people that I resonate with the most? Where do these people hang out, all right? Especially online. Are there certain forums? Are there certain Facebook groups? Are there certain hashtags on Instagram? And so on and so forth. Who are the people that I can help? And then obviously the next step is, what exactly are they feeling? What are their exact problems? What is their ideal situation when they've overcome that problem? What keeps them up awake at night? Research your target audience. The better you can do that, the easier it will be later on for you to sell. All right, this is a big part that none of the business people talks about. And even people that are making a little bit of money and they're wondering how they can make more money with their online coaching business, it's usually that is their deficit. They're like, well, I don't know my target audience that well, right? So your target audience is very, very important for you to know about them as much as you can, all right? That being said, research your target audience, and then you apply basic level sales skills, okay? Now, when I say sales, this is usually this like big, fearful topic where everybody's like, oh, sales, but I'm not a naturally born salesperson. They imagine a salesperson is like this very young, dynamic, very confident, social person, but actually anybody can learn sales. And in fact, 80-20 Pareto principle, you need 20% of the information to get you 80% of the results when it comes to sales. Usually we teach our clients sales as well, and oftentimes even after a couple of days, our clients get their first very, very well-paying clients, because again, sales is really not this big, esoteric, random topic. It is a very straightforward process that can indeed be taught. So once you get to know your target audience, you basically apply basic level sales skills. And what you do then is you get your first test clients. Okay, again, if you're not super confident to charge 4 figures per client and to charge a lot of money, get your first test clients. Give it to them for half a price. All right, and be honest with that too. You don't need to, again, present yourself as this big expert. You can literally say, hey, you'd be my first client, which is why I'm going to make sure that you actually get results, because it's also in my interest. I'm going to give it to you for a lower price, and let's go make that happen. Give yourself a chance to succeed. Allow yourself to get your first paid clients. And then, great thing is you're honing your skill, getting better at that, and you're already getting paid. Right? That's a really, really nice thing to be living in. And then obviously, this is something we teach our clients too. Get to your first $10,000 a month. All right, this is for us, this is the base level milestone, the first hurdle where we want to get our clients to. Because once you make your first 10K a month, that is where you have a proof of concept. You can continuously get sales. And for most of our clients, that is the part where they say, okay, I'm making more money now doing less work than I would do in my 9-to-5 job. And then, only then, you have my permission to burn the bridges and say, yo, I've been making $10,000 a month or 10,000 euros a month relatively consistently over the last couple months. I don't need my job anymore. And then you can happily say goodbye to your job. You can quit and you can step into that life of freedom, right? Of being your own boss and of making things happen. Right? So that is the very, very simple step-by-step structure to get there. Now, if you say, hey, I want to have a little bit of help from the experts of getting there, I want to also become a successful online coach, then you can literally jump on a free consultation call either with me directly or with an expert from my team. All right, all you have to do is click that description link. All right, there's a link in the description. You click that, it brings you to a page. Read what's on that page because it's really important information for you to get started. At the bottom of the page, there's an application. You fill that out and then you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. Call is entirely for free, okay? No hidden fees whatsoever. And it is only for action takers though. So if you already have a skill, you just kind of like got inspired by what I said now and you say, hey, I have a skill and you want to learn how to monetize that, this call is for you, all right? If you're already making money with a certain skill, but you say you want to scale it properly, you want to do it more consistently, this call is for you as well. But also I have to say that if you like the idea of being free as an online coach or online service provider, but you're not 100% sure what it is that you can be teaching, this call is still for you. We analyze your strengths, we know the market, we can tell you what model fits best for you to get started, all right? Like I said, call is entirely for free, link down in the description below, but it is only for action takers, okay? If you're a dabbler, no, don't apply, we don't want to work with you. But if you like to see results and if you want to see results relatively fast, this call is for you. Again, book that call. If the link still works, it means we still have spots open. Usually these spots fill up relatively fast, especially now that the channel is growing more and more. So make it happen. Maybe talk to you very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching and GG.